I'm going to start here with the problem that we left off with in class, just to go back and do a little bit of a review. What we want to do is find the exact value of sine alpha plus beta under the given conditions. And you can see the conditions there. We don't know exactly what alpha is. We don't know exactly what beta is, but we do know some things about them. So as always, we want to write out or identify what we're being asked to do. And we're being asked to find sine of alpha plus beta. And of course, the formula for that is sine alpha cosine beta plus sine beta cosine alpha. Okay, and so some of this information we're actually given. We were given that cosine of alpha is root 5 over 5, and we were also given that sine beta is minus 4/5. So we'll go ahead and plug that information in. And cosine alpha is square root 5 over 5. All right, but that still leaves for us to find sine alpha and cosine beta. So what I'm going to do is draw triangles in the correct quadrants to help me find that information. Let's start with alpha. We note here that alpha is between 0 and pi over 2, so that places it in the first quadrant, because 0 is here if we're doing the circle, and pi over 2 would be here, and this would be alpha. And we know that cosine alpha is square root of 5 over 5, so that's my adjacent over the hypotenuse. And we'll use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out what the other side is. So we get 5 squared equals the square root of 5 squared plus y squared, or 25 minus 5 gives me 20 equals y squared. So y is going to be 4 root 5, or rather 2 square root 5. Okay, and so now that I've got all the sides of the triangle, I can say that sine of alpha is opposite over hypotenuse, or 2 square root 5 over 5. Okay, we'll complete a similar procedure for beta, but this time we note that beta is going to be in the fourth quadrant. Okay, and we know that here's our beta right here. We know that sine of beta is minus 4/5, so this is my opposite, negative 4 right here. Then here's our hypotenuse, and then we get the Pythagorean triple, 3, 4, 5. So cosine beta is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, so 3/5. Okay, and so we go on from there. We get 6 root 5 over 25 minus 4 root 5 over 25, or 2 root 5 over 25. And that's our final answer. Okay, so for the next example, we're asked to find the exact value of cosine alpha minus beta under the given conditions. And we have tangent alpha equals 5/12, and we know that alpha is between pi and 3 pi over 2, and sine beta equals negative 1/2, and beta is also between pi and 3 pi over 2. Okay, so let's go on first and write out the definition for cosine alpha minus beta. Okay, we know that cosine alpha minus beta is equal to cosine alpha cosine beta plus sine alpha sine beta. Okay, and so we're going to first use any given information that we might be able to. We were given that sine of beta is equal to negative 1/2. Okay, but that's the only thing that we can plug in right now based on the information that was given. However, we can find everything else using the information that we got. Let's go ahead, since we're talking about beta, draw the triangle for angle beta, okay, which it says is between pi and 3 pi over 2. So it's going to be in quadrant 3. And we know that sine of beta is negative 1/2. Okay, so we're going to get opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, and I think that's our Pythagorean triple. So this side, of course, is going to be negative square root 3. Okay, so the cosine of angle beta then would be adjacent over hypotenuse, and it's going to be negative root 3 over 2. Okay, all right, adjacent over hypotenuse. All right, now for alpha, we were given information about tangent, but we'll go on and draw a triangle based on that information. Okay, alpha was also in quadrant 3. Okay, the picture's not to scale, so don't worry about that part. But we've got opposite over adjacent. Okay, and so if we go on and do our calculations there, I think this is also a Pythagorean triple. We'll get 13. All right, 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 25 plus 144 equals 169. That's our c squared. So c is equal to 13. Okay, so that means cosine alpha is, and this would be negative, and so would this, cosine alpha is adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we get negative 12 over 13. Okay, adjacent over hypotenuse, and sine alpha is opposite over hypotenuse, so we get minus 5 over 13. Okay, so we get 12 root 3 over 26, okay, plus 5 over 26. Okay, and we put those together, we end up with 12 root 3 plus 5 over 26.